zero money, bad credit. And this economy is all about bad credit, behind on your mortgage. You know, it's like you name it, that's what people run about business. You read about champions. I like to always think about when I woke up this morning, I was writing one of my books, and it's this little saying, it just came to me. It was just like this thing that really exemplifies what I try to get out when I talk about branding, business, and martial arts. I missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that's why I am successful. Michael Jordan. See that? I want to be like Mike. Mike had warfare. When you think about Mike, you think of Michael Jordan being a success. When Mike think about Mike think of Mike being a failure. He think about all the times when he was, coming out of college, he was slam dunking. He was killing people. He was the greatest player you have ever seen, but he never won a championship. He was like highlight reels, all those reels you see when he was like in the air, and he was selling on Michael in his life. The world was crushing in on him, like I told you. The greatest player of all times, and he crushed in on him. And you know what? Mike sat there on the camera, and they asked him about his dad, and he just broke down and cried. When I seen that, I just broke down and cried. And at that moment, I got a chance to know the man. So it wasn't anything about the basketball. It was something about the ability to be able to take adversity and come back and make the best of it. You done probably seen Gatorade. Gatorade, I'm just trying to bring some things to your attention. Like Gatorade, at one time they was the most dominant sports drink company in the world. But somewhere along the way they got lost to focus with their brand. So Gatorade runs, and she started wondering what Gatorade meant to her. Gatorade meant drink of athletes. Not a mom, not a dad, sport of athletes. Sports drink of when you're a warrior, you go in the gym and you kill it. That's what you think about Gatorade? It's like you on a basketball player, you on a field and you killing something. You're like, man, give me a Gatorade. You say, give me a Gatorade before you say, give me water. But some down the way, that lady realized that Gatorade got mixed up with them sparkling water drinks. So she created this plan. Gatorade today. So every Gatorade commercial you see now you see them jumping on boxes. Boom! Have you ever seen a Gatorade commercial today? Where they show you that part with Michael Jordan. Yeah, I get pumped. I'm like, man, that's the Gatorade commercial. It make you get out and work out, boy. You're like, this is like our mom, because of her passion about working out, and because the world was crushing her down and cutting her down. Like I told you, pressure makes greatness. She came up with a great idea. She saved the company, made a company redefine themselves. So now when I go back to Michael Jordan, it reminds me, because the one commercial they always show was the highlight moment. When he was in that basketball game, he had what? The flu. He could barely stand up. And they was losing. And Mike came out, boy, you ain't never seen nothing like that. You seen it, Mr. Owens? Man, you was in the air. Get him, Mike. He was shooting, he was killing them. He was killing them so bad, he was hitting so many shots, he's like, I don't know what's going on. They had to drag him off the court. When he sat down, he was out. But when it was time to play, he got right back out and came out there and did. So that one defining moment under pressure is what made him great. So that point is what defines our brand. How do we protect our brand? And a part of a point MMA brand. Brand protection is more important than anything. That's why it's so important to make sure you do the calisthenics tape, and you can. What I'm saying is, what we got to do is make sure you got to ask questions today. You got to make sure you're doing the technique right. You got to make sure that the bigger picture is that, just like you being here today, you're representing your organization. So Master Mitchell felt as though you were worthy of coming here to this school and taking what we're doing with this brand and bringing it back to his school and making an Okinawan version of Point MMA. That's why he sent you here. So not just are you representing your own personal brand, but you're representing your organization's brand. And that's what we all got to remember. So what we do it can affect everything where everybody is going with this. So we gotta make sure it's right. We gotta make sure what we're doing. Like I said, before you leave this day and when you went through everything, you gotta ask questions. Anything that we're doing, you let me know, you bring it back to my attention so I can make sure we're doing everything to the best of our ability. What we're gonna do, we're gonna stand up right now, calm down and get back into your zone. Close your eyes, breathe into your mouth. Into your nose and out your mouth. Into your nose, 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 out your mouth. That's to clear your mind. Also, the goal is not to have any thoughts, none whatsoever. But if you're going into competition or you got something that you're trying to achieve, you want to see that vision right on your forehead, as clear as a movie screen. Pull it back and make attention states, and then step back out. Let's flow. In, cross, roll. Back out. 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 Good. In, cross, roll. Back out. Okay, now let me tell you why the standing is so important. If you ever had to go into any city, there's a bunch of kids who don't really want to listen to you, and you find yourself having some of the most educated people trying to talk to these kids, you're like, oh man, boom, boogie on them, yo, forget them, F him and all that stuff. I ain't joking. You got all the education in the world, and you got all these hundreds of kids, and you can't get to them. You know what you start doing? You tell them obey. And the moment the person don't come to obey, then I know how to deal with that crowd, because I know that person do not come to obey, he got an attitude. So guess what? And even if it's a dealt, if they're dealt, do not move and come to this position, all right, I know what I got to do with him. So I start pulling that person out and using that person as my uki. So I start talking about, why would we come to obey? What's the problem? Somebody start like, man, I ain't trying to do that. Then I start going back saying, okay, I remember the day when Officer Friendly used to come to my school all the time. Y'all remember Officer Friendly? Yes, sir. Well, you don't remember Officer Friendly? You remember Officer Friendly? Yes, every time Officer Friendly came to my school and started talking like, man, who this police officer Friendly was talking about? Not to, walk across the street correctly, show respect, all that good stuff. Man, I was like, man, fooey, Officer Friendly. And because I listened to Officer Friendly made me listen to him one day. I was walking like that. So he used to study the most deadly art in China. And you're going to say, sir, are you going to say, everybody come to the attention? He's going to be like, so you got to break him down. So let me tell you how you change the class. So right away from doing all this, you start doing 10-minute blasts. All right, so it's going back like we were saying with reading your opponent and reading your environment when we talk about combat. This allows me to be able to see where everybody at. And whenever you're trying to take control of the situation, you don't want people standing like this in your class. You don't want people standing like this. If you're giving a motivational speech, and you got people standing like this, you got some guy sitting in the audience like that, something wrong. You got to get him. You want to keep your eyes on him. Because you got to convince him to do this. Because once you get him to do this, then everybody else is going to do that because you can sense the negative energy. So once again, you got to read it. You want to get everybody going, the kids, you share some sort of drastic story. Break them down, boom, boom, boom. What they dealt, like I said, especially guys, the toughest guy, you always get them. I guarantee you get them with the 10-minute blast. You bust them down, and they be asking for water. You like, oh man, we don't take no water break, yo. Oh, but I need some water. All right, go ahead, suck and get some water. By then, he done really been broke down, his ego gone, and guess what he's doing? He's doing exactly what you say. And then he ends up following you doing what needs to have happened. So, that's the reading of the beginning. To open, knowledge, unity, open, and then let's go respect. All right, let's do this bow one more time. Let's do this bow. Let's do open, knowledge, unity, open, respect. Let's do this bow. Back up. All right, relax and ease. Let me tell you what you're doing here. You got to read your audience.